Hello, my name is Chef Fran, and today we are making our Mexican meatloaf, Mexican rice, and elote. Elote, I believe I'm pronouncing it correctly. That's that wonderful street corn. That's with the mayo, and the smoked paprika, and the cayenne, and the lime. And it has the cojita cheese on it. So that's what we're making today. So the ingredients for our Mexican rice was some jasmine rice, some chicken broth, some enchilada sauce, some onions, some garlic, some butter, and olive oil. That was the ingredients for our Mexican rice. Now the ingredients for elote is some corn, some queso, cojita, cheese. That's the Mexican grated cheese with some mayo and a little bit of ketchup and some lime, some smoked paprika, some a little bit of cayenne, and that is what we put on, and some parsley. That is what we put on the smoked elote. Now for our meatloaf, we have our red and green and yellow bell peppers and all the seasonings of the parsley, the onions, the garlic, the cumin, the paprika, the chili powder, onion powder, garlic powder, oregano, that was, and the salsa and ketchup, as well as some diced tomatoes. That is, and also our pepper jack cheese with our cheddar, white and yellow, and some Kobe. That is for the stuffing inside of our Mexican meatloaf. So that's all of our ingredients. So I have some olive oil and some butter in here, 2 slices of butter with some olive oil, extra virgin olive oil. And I just have some onions that I finely chopped. I'm gonna just cook them down to they're translucent. And then I'm gonna add my garlic that I finely chopped here. Then I'm gonna let my rice, because we're making Mexican rice. So this is how I make my Mexican rice. I'm just gonna actually put some Mexican rice in there and let that get like a little toasted. Once I add the garlic and stuff, let it get a little toasted. And then I'll add my enchilada sauce and my chicken stock. So that's how I'm gonna do it. And of course a little salt, Himalayan salt and black pepper. So right now my onions are still kind of like going on their way, very close to becoming translucent. Let's see if I can kind of show it to you. Becoming very tender and soft. Definitely soft and translucent. Now I'm adding my garlic, okay, that I had finely chopped up. Just gonna stir that around for about 45 seconds to 1 minute. And then I'm gonna add my rice. Now the jasmine rice is usually 1 cup of rice to 1.5 cups of liquid. So that could be your water, that could be your broth, whatever you're choosing to use as liquid. In this case, I have my enchilada, which is also a liquid, this is about 1 cup and 2 ounces. And of course, then the rest will be made up by my chicken stock. So I'm gonna be now I'm putting my rice in, and I'm gonna be doing about 1.5 cups. Okay. And I'm just gonna get that coated all up together. Maybe I'll add a little bit more rice. Not quite 1.5 cups. Let's see. Let's see something. Okay, maybe I'll do half. I'll do 2 cups. Okay, there we go. 2 cups there. And you can use any rice that you prefer, any rice that you like. I just happen to like jasmine rice and basmati rice. I prefer to eat brown rice, but I like white rice too, but I prefer brown. So again, you can use whichever rice you like. Some people might use parboiled rice, which kind of looks beige, you know. And so now that my rice is all kind of getting lightly toasted, I am going to go ahead. And the way I like to cook my rice also is that I like to have a piece of foil when I put my lid, so it like almost pressure cooks it, like kind of gives it just comes out perfect always that way, with that extra hot steam to it. So here comes my salt, and I'm adding that beforehand. Okay, and my black pepper. I'm going to pour my broth first, and then I'm going to pour my enchilada sauce. Okay? So you can use vegetable broth if you like. You don't have to use the chicken broth. Or you could use no broth and use water. Or you could add better than bouillon to your water. You could do that as well. Whatever works for you and your preference. You just want to make sure you got yourself some red sauce, some enchilada sauce. Now, again, you can take your tomatoes and onions and garlic and kind of pulverize that itself too, and add some water to it, to kind of get yourself red sauce. Okay, so I am making our Mexican meatloaf, and I've already chopped up my bell peppers of red, yellow, and green. I've seasoned it with some onion. I also diced up some onions and garlic and put it here as well. But I also added some onion powder, garlic powder, chili powder, paprika, a little bit of cayenne, a little bit of Slap Your Mama, the original, not the hot. And I have 2 eggs in here that I'm going to use to bind it up. And I also have some cumin in here as well, and some oregano. And so that is our seasoning. And I'm just going to kind of like mix this up here. Mix it. And then we're going to put it in our loaf pan. Normally, when I tend to make meatloaf or even mac and cheese, I don't normally put eggs in it. I see some people put eggs in their things, but because I have so many nice, wonderful, fresh vegetables in here to kind of make it moist, I did not want it to like fall apart. So that's why I decided to add the egg for the very first time, actually, because the peppers will give it that moistness, as well as the onions. So because I have all that in here, I don't want it to fall apart. So I did. This is also, to be honest with you, this is some ground beef with some ground pork in here. So it's the mix of the both. And for our Mexican meatloaf. And so what's going to make our Mexican meatloaf different and special is that we're going to add some cheese in the middle of it, a pepper jack, and some white cheddar and Colby, and some mild cheddar as well inside. So what I'm going to do first is put some meatloaf right here, flatten it down, and in the middle of that is where I'm going to then add my cheese. So I took off one glove so my hands could be free, so I could add the cheese that's going to be in the center Then we're going to kind of close it up. And this is my mixed cheese that's here, like I had mentioned. And then I'm just going to close the top. Just kind of pat that down. And just fill up the top. That's it. I like to see this better, what I'm doing here. So now I'm going to just use one hand to kind of smooth out the top, because I only have one glove on. And on the top, I'm actually, when I put this to bake and cook, and it's going to cook for about an hour. It's going to cook on 400 for close to an hour, about 45 minutes to an hour. And I'm going to actually top it off with some salsa and ketchup. That's what's going to be at the top. So I'll do that later. Not now. I'm just going to let it start to cook up first, and then I'll brush it with the salsa and ketchup. So this is what our wonderful Mexican meatloaf looks like before it's cooked, but you can see all these beautiful colors in here of the yellow, the red, and the green, all healthiness. You see specks of white. That's for the onions and the garlic in here. You don't even know that the cheese is in here, so that's the great surprise. So I'm gonna bake this, and once it's done, about probably the last 15 minutes before it's done, then I'll brush the salsa and the ketchup together. So I mix my ketchup with my salsa, and here I'm putting my salsa right here. Since this has a little bit of heat to it, nothing extremely hot. You know, I like the balance of the little fruit that's in here, of the peach and the mango. So I think that's good to also kind of tone down some of the acid from the salsa that we have. So I'm going to put this back in the oven for about 15 to 20 minutes to bake some more, and hopefully that it will stick a little bit more to it. So I'm actually buttering up our grilled corn to make our elote, our Mexican street corn. Turning the edge of it. Okay. Here's the dressing for our corn, our street corn elote. I have a little bit of lime juice in here, some mayo, a little bit of smoked paprika, chili powder, and a tiny bit of cayenne. And I'm just gonna brush that on it and put some queso cojita. If I'm mispronouncing it, you guys are free to help me. Don't critique, but help. And I'm going to put some parsley too on top of it. So here we go. So we just kind of brush that on here on our grilled corn. I'm hearing this is the greatest part of eating this street corn, is this little type of dressing sauce. Okay, with that cheese on it. All right, and then I'm gonna sprinkle on the cheese on here, and then throw on my parsley, and our corn is then done. Okay, now we get our cheese on here. sure I get all the cheeses that would need to be on here. Let's see if we can get some more of that cheese right here. And the parsley. Get a little bit more of that cheese right here. Okay. That's enough of that cheese now. Let's get the parsley on here. We have all this goodness cheese here, actually. All right, so this is elote. Elote corn, our street corn. You have all these nice, wonderful grill marks. I grilled it on the grill, you know, with a little bit of butter, and then I had our mayo with our lime juice and our cayenne, a little bit of cayenne, some chili powder, a little smoked paprika mixture in here, and I basted it on, and then I put this wonderful queso cojita cheese on there. If I'm mispronouncing it again, I am more than happy to receive you correcting me. Just don't criticize. It's not my first language. And here's some parsley on it, and it just looks scrumptious by itself. Our Mexican rice has jasmine rice, vitamins B and folate, chicken broth A, B12, C, D, E, K, and magnesium. Our enchilada sauce, vitamins A, C, calcium, and iron. And our olive oil has vitamins E and K, and Himalayan salt, calcium, iron, magnesium, potassium. Black pepper A, B1, B2, B5, B6, C, E, and K. And our Mexican meatloaf has ground beef, B6, B12, iron, selenium, and zinc. Ground pork, B6, B12, iron, niacin, phosphorus, thiamine, and zinc. Himalayan salt, calcium, iron, magnesium, potassium. Black pepper, A, B1, B2, B5, B6, C, E, and K. Slap your mama seasoning. A, C, calcium and iron. Parsley, A, B, C, K, calcium, iron, and magnesium. Onion, B6, C, folate, magnesium, potassium. Garlic, B6, C, manganese, and selenium. Onion powder, B, C, calcium, iron, manganese, and potassium. Garlic powder, B6, C, calcium, iron, and magnesium. Cumin, A, B6, C, E, K, calcium, iron, magnesium, phosphorus. Bell peppers, A, B2, B6, C, folate, niacin, and potassium. Cheddar cheese, D, and calcium. Pepper jack cheese, A, B12, calcium, phosphorus, selenium, and zinc. Salsa, vitamin C, and ketchup, A, C, calcium, and riboflavin. Our Mexican street corn, elote, corn, B, C, and folate, mayo, A, E, and K, lime juice, C, and antioxidant, chili powder, iron, magnesium, potassium, smoked paprika, A, calcium, folate, potassium, phosphorus, cayenne, A, B, C, K, calcium, iron, and magnesium. Cojita cheese, B1, B3, B6, D, E, and K. Parsley, A, B, C, K, calcium, iron, and magnesium. Real facts. The baby formula shortage is posing a threat to the health of infants from food insecure families. Nutrition within the first few years of life is very important for a child's health, and with the lack of food already, this shortage can cause serious health issues. You can learn more by visiting us at jdhcdc.org. Well, guys, here we have our Mexican rice, garnished with our tomato and parsley. And I don't really necessarily do cilantro because cilantro kind of closes my throat. And we have our elote corn, our street corn here. And we have our Mexican meatloaf, which had our cheese in it. I love this meatloaf because it's so vibrant and full of colors and full of nutrition, from our salsa to the way it was made, with all the peppers in it. Oh my gosh! Wow! Nice. A little bit of the salsa. Let's pick up some of that salsa in here. Nice combination. Really good. Let's go into our rice. Let's see. Has a tiny bit of a little kick from the enchilada sauce, but I mean nothing that will stop you from eating it. At least I don't think so. I love it. I love things that wake you up and give you a little kick, like, you know, a little spice kick. So, let's try our corn. I'm so excited for this corn. Look at that. Look at that. Look at that. Okay, let's try it. Oh, wow. I see all the rave now. Oh my gosh. This is so good. Oh my gosh. I get it. I get all the rave now with the Mexican cheese and the mayo, paprika, chili powder, cayenne, lime juice. Oh, you taste it all. Taste a little kick of the citrus, the little heat of the cayenne, the creaminess of the mayo. You taste it, the smokiness of the paprika. This is so good. I'm so happy I made this. So here's our call to action. Don't forget to click the like button by giving me a virtual hug. When you do that, that lets me know that you're enjoying what I'm doing for you. It encourages me to continue to keep on doing more creative things. And if you haven't subscribed before, subscribe and share this channel with your family and friends. I'm sure they will enjoy it. And if you're new to this channel, welcome. Oh, I welcome you here with open arms and great big hugs. I thank you so much for hanging out with me today and eating virtually while I ate physically, but you too can do this. And let me know how it turned out for you. If you did something different, if you did exactly the same thing, I'll enjoy hearing from you. Thank you again for hanging out with me. I enjoy your time of hanging out with me. Love you guys so much. Try this. You'll enjoy it. Bye.